Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Testing. Test. Hello, hello, hello. Test. Hello, hello, hello. Test. Hello, hello, hello.
DIDO TV. Most people go through life oblivious to all the deception that's going on around us at all times. Some people wake up to this nightmare and see that from the moment that we are born, the establishment begins programming us and molding our minds for their own benefit. Our educational system is just a way to brainwash us all into being occupational debt slaves, content with barely getting by our films and being robbed under the guise of taxation. We're lied to about our origins and are kept away from our true history. History is constantly being rewritten in order to keep this false reality in operation. Our food and water is being poisoned so we can get sick and go to our medical system for treatment, when, in fact, all they do is poison us even more with their prescription pills and put us further in debt with outrageous medical bills. Vaccines are touted as something good that's meant to help us when they're actually meant to destroy our bodies and our brains. Our air is being contaminated with chemtrails that are ultimately ruining our soil, making it harder to grow food with real nutritional value. Not to mention, we are getting to a point where no food shall be grown that Monsanto doesn't own. This world is ran by Satan-worshipping psychopaths, holy pedophiles that keep the masses distracted with bread and circus sporting events and Hollywood movies that are littered with propaganda that has the ability to manufacture your thoughts and opinions. Mankind is under severe mind control, and while our attention is being diverted, we are being led directly into one world order, where everything we know will be controlled by a single entity. That is the worst thing that can possibly happen to humanity, and it's very difficult to continue living a normal life when you're aware of all these things while simultaneously living among hordes of other people who don't have the same.
Check your gear and weapons. We go soon.
What happens to this world for what it is? It's impossible to go back. If that's the case, it's crucial that you never let your guard down. Never stop researching, learning and thinking things forward. Never stop standing up for what's right, speaking out. And, most importantly, never sleep again.
The real fight begins now.
These crazy days that we live in just cost me weeks and days. Lately now life is like a season of Stranger Things. This place is flooded with demons and they invade your brain. This is an artificial hell and they create the flames. Day to day, I just try to stay strong and make it through.
Gas approaching your position. Move to the safe
That's
zone.
what I came to do. Please don't believe what you see on TV and think it's true. It's all just targeted programming and it's aimed at you. It's everywhere. You're getting lied to and yet you barely care. People with common sense are now very rare. But the way that they brainwash you isn't very fair. They bitch up that mind control programming up their brain. I do not consent to the way they tailor society. Ain't no variety. Plus I really hate when they lie to me. I use music as a tool to release the anger inside of me. You don't know how fucking crazy it's driving me. That we're living in the they claim you have freedom, but they don't honor it. The world is a prison and you're the occupant. We're living in the government's useless and they're incompetent. Pedophiles are prominent. The things that you believe are the total opposite. And being called crazy is just a compliment. There's a storm coming and there's no stopping it. We're living in the it's where we live and control you to fear and terrorism. They want to keep you in a mental prison where they tell you vision through the television. Where the ignorance is bliss and they just keep you living in it. You're a business, getting us citizenship. What did you really think that your birth certificate is? Get the straw man up. Money isn't paid, it's all the bank note. It's only a bill exchange when you pay that loan. Like a monopoly game, but you can't pass go. When you turn on the TV, all did you get politically entertainment? The news that you see is all suggestive. Lowering frequencies contribute to our stress. And you're responding, telling me that we're free living in this country. Military overseas and it's all for our peace. Just a record on repeat from the programming. Like probably want a cracker. Put you through education for domestication, control my mind faster. Giving you medication to poison our masses. If you ever question what's coming from our masters, and you're rocking the boat, or you're ever having any thoughts of your own, you better hope you never caught walking alone. To be locked up a road outside of your cold. Got your life looking like a sci-fi show. Brain scrambling when the Wi-Fi's on. Airplane mode when I buy my phone. If your eyes wide closed. We're living in the they claim you have freedom, but they don't honor it. The world is a prison and you're the occupant. We're living in the government's useless and they're incompetent. And satanic pedophiles are prominent. We're living in the things that you believe are the total opposite. And being called crazy is just a compliment. We're living in it's trained by the New World Order conglomerate. But there's a storm coming and there's no stopping it. We're living in I ask myself, why do I even bother? Cause people are just like sheep that are lining up for the slaughter. If they're killing rats with fluoride, then why is it in the water? They're using the news to fool us, divide us so they can conquer. The longer you stay asleep, then the longer I'm gonna scream at you. I can't believe you let them deceive you, it's inconceivable. I won't stop until you wake up and do what you need to do. This world is overran with an evil that is unspeakable. Most people don't know, so they just vote and pay taxes. The devil's hiding in the shadows and controlling their actions. And they think that the earth is a spinning globe on its axis. But I don't have any time to devote to this madness. I have nobody to relate to, so I ride alone. Just me and all these wild thoughts that are inside my dome. I feel like I don't belong here and I can't find my home. Tripping and I'm wishing it was different, but we're living in they claim you have freedom, but they don't honor it. The world is a prison and you're the occupant. We're living in the government's useless and they're incompetent. And satanic pedophiles are prominent. We're living in the things that you believe are the total opposite. And being called crazy is just a compliment. It's trained by the New World Order conglomerate. But there's a storm coming and there's no stopping it. We're living in the Twilight Zone. And there's nowhere that we can go. Awakened now, I'm feeling all alone. We're living in the Twilight Zone. And the rest of you made asleep. Sedated and still thinking that we're free. We're living in the Twilight Zone. And there's nowhere that we can go. Awakened now, I'm feeling all alone. We're living in the Twilight Zone. And the rest of you made asleep. Sedated and still thinking that we're free. We're living in the Twilight Zone.
Got gas moving in. Win this fight and you return to the front line, but if you lose, you're done. Beat them down and capture the objective.
You're lacking the vision, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase. They hide the truth in plain view.
Running this place, real on face. I grab the microphone and all I do is rock it. This little light of mine, I let it shine and you can't stop it. But there's nothing these corporations just won't do for profit. This fake ass world that we live in is sick, it's truly toxic. If you don't see it that way, okay then keep talking. While you're sleepwalking, the alarm is going off, I hear it beep often. I'm at the double doors of truth, I'm gonna keep knocking.
Alright. Here we go.
Warzone has finally landed, and it's also got 6 million players, along with being cross to Call of Duty by doing things like settings. For reference, I usually play on an Xbox One X at 1044 versus things. We want to set our controller settings. This is quite possibly the biggest choice you have to make, and also the one which requires the most practice, though there are some settings that most players overlook that really give you a big advantage in Warzone. First of all is your button layout. Now for this you're going to want to use tactical, which switches your melee and crouch button around. Now the reason you want to do this is because it means that you'll never really have to take your thumb off your thumbstick, which in a battle royale where every moment counts could make all the difference in a gunfight. It also allows you to do certain movements like drop shotting while still being able to control your aim as you go down to the ground, which is advanced movement but will help you win. Stick layout preset you'll want as default, then I hope invert vertical look is also disabled, though there are some people somehow that do play inverted. Then for horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity, I use a 4. This allows me to scan my environment pretty quickly to spot enemies, but the real trick is with your ADS sensitivity multiplier, which I turn down to an 88, so around a 3.5 sensitivity. It just helps you give you that extra bit of control when you're in a gunfight, allowing you to be a lot more accurate than you would be without that setting. It's a small setting change, but really does make a difference. Then for my aim response curve, I use standard, and then I disable controller vibration, as it's just not a useful setting to have switched on. Then for your weapon settings, you now have 4 choices when it comes to aim assist with a controller. No aim assist, which I definitely wouldn't recommend, as I've only ever seen one player that's managed to pull this off. Then you have standard, precision, and focusing. Now, I've tried all of them for a bit and found that standard works for me best, as it's a good all-rounder. Though precision does help a lot when you're focusing on getting as many headshots as possible. For weapon mounting, I use ADS plus melee, so left trigger, then next. Though precision does help a lot when you're focusing on getting as many.
See, traditionally slow down near target. Strong aim slowdown that only kicks in when aiming closer to target. Best for accurate players. Strong aim slowdown that kicks in when narrowly missing target. Best for players new to them. Fuck. Just standard.
Headshots as possible. For weapon mounting, I use ADS plus melee, so left trigger, then B next to a wall that I want to mount. Weapon mount movement exit is enabled, then aim down sight and equipment behavior both as hold. Then this next setting is one of the most important for Warzone. You'll want to have it set to contextual tap. This is going to allow you to loot faster, open doors faster, and get into vehicles faster. All you need to do to loot or get into a vehicle or do anything is tap X rather than hold, which is what the default setting is, which is crazy, especially at the start of a round where speed is everything. So please make sure this setting is set to contextual tap. Then depleted ammo switch is enabled. Then for movement, I have slide behavior as hold, auto move forward disabled, automatic sprint disabled, and then vehicle camera recenter as disabled. One thing I want to say about your controller settings is, especially when it comes down to sensitivity, is it is personal preference. I really do suggest trying out what works best for you if my settings just don't feel quite right. I'll have a video coming soon on improving your aim as well. Personal tap. Then depleted ammo switch is enabled. Then for movement, I have slide behavior as hold, auto move forward disabled, automatic sprint disabled, and then vehicle camera recenter as disabled. One thing I want to say about your controller settings is, especially when it comes down to sensitivity, is it is personal preference. I really do suggest trying out what works best for you if my settings just don't feel quite right. I'll have a video coming soon on improving your aim as well, and a whole load of other tips for Call of Duty Warzone, so make sure that you are subscribed. We then have our general settings. Now these settings vary from platform to platform. Some that are available on PC are not available on console, so do keep that in mind. My field of view, which is on PC only, is set to 94. This is so I can see enemy players coming from the sides of my peripherals easier. Tips I have as default. The skip introduction movie is completely up to you. Personally, I think it looks pretty epic, so leave it switched on. And other information appear on the map now. You're not going to want to have that round minimap. I switched mine to square so I can be sure to see any important information like an enemy player firing, any vehicles, or one of the new features like objectives or a buy station. Round sadly just cuts off the corners, which could make all the difference to your game. I also have minimap rotation enabled, so I can easily tell what direction my teammates are, along with whatever other information is showing on the map. And that's all the settings that you need to change in the general tab. Next, you'll want to head over to the audio tab, where the first thing you're going to need to do is choose your audio mix. Now, of course, we're going for performance, so you want the setting that's going to allow you to hear enemy footsteps as clearly as possible. Because there's nothing worse than when someone somehow manages to get behind you and shoots you in the back. So, to avoid that happening, you'll want to use the boost high setting. This has a moderate dynamic range along with enhanced highs, which is going to help bring out those footstep sounds in the sound mix. And because there's so much going on in a match of Call of Duty Warzone, from explosions to gunfire, footsteps are always going to be pretty difficult to pick out. And as you can probably tell, explosions and gunshots are quite low in terms of sound frequency, so that high boost is going to make sure those footsteps are clearly identifiable, and you can help locate where an opponent is. Next, I drop the overall master volume down to 75. This is because in my particular setup, audio when a lot is going on tends to peak, so I miss out on some important information. I then have music completely off. Now, don't get me wrong, I love it when music is playing in a game, but if I'm purely trying to go for wins, I don't want anything going on in-game that could potentially take away from that. And other than making me feel pretty epic, music, sadly, does not help me win the game. Dialogue I then have as 75, as the game does occasionally give you some useful callouts, but once again, I want everything to prioritize towards the game effects audio, as that's the audio that gives you all the cues you need in order to be successful in Call of Duty Warzone, from gunshots, for footsteps. Then currently there's no juggernaut in the game, so that setting just doesn't matter. And then your hit marker sound effects can be whatever you want. Now, those sound settings are probably the best you can have, but you also need to make sure that your setup is also correct to make full use of them. If you can, always try to play with a headset. This is just going to allow you to be able to pick up audio cues far easier, as well as being able to clearly tell which direction your opponents are coming from. A lot of headsets also come with additional settings and modes to help you highlight certain types of noises to focus on in the sound mix, like once again highlighting high frequencies to really bring footstep noises out of the mix to make them as clear as possible. So make sure to check if your headset has those extra settings. It'll be very helpful. Then you'll want to head over to your account settings and make sure that crossplay is enabled. This means that you can play against a much larger player base, which is going to help reduce queue times. But most importantly, it means you can play with all your friends no matter what platform they choose to play on, which is something that I'm personally super excited about and think that it's a great addition to gaming. One thing I didn't touch on earlier in the video with the best controller settings for Warzone is that I also use an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. This is because the paddles on the back of the controller help give me a competitive edge, because as I mentioned earlier, you never want to be taking your thumbs off your thumbstick, so big 360 controller feeling, which is what I use most of the time when I was competing in Call of Duty.
Pool with over 10 million daily players on your smartphone or tablet.
See an Immortal Shaker Cup come to life. Use code Immortal, it'll get you a discount, and every order helps get us one step closer to advancing on to the next round. Anyways, on to today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Just here, after months, everyone on all platforms, from tips and crossover from most, is speaking of clarity and over, the motion blur might look cool when it comes to cinematics. The weapon motion blur in a situation when you are going to be trying to spot players is finally here after months of waiting post-launch without much information whatsoever. After weeks of seeing that classified tab on the main menu, today Warzone finally released free for everyone on all platforms, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, you name it. You can now download Warzone for free. And because we've got a whole new Call of Duty experience, let me know by dropping a like future, from tips and tricks to news coverage and everything else in between. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on to stay up to date with all of that stuff. Anyways, getting right into the best settings for Warzone, curiously enough, despite Warzone being a completely different experience and mode for multiplayer in Modern Warfare, a lot of the same settings actually cross over from mode to mode. And what works in one place, for the most part, is going to work in the other as well. So let's kick things off with some pretty crucial settings that are universal for all players. So regardless of what platform you're on, making sure you've got these settings in place is going to make everything so much more ideal when you're playing. So what I'm talking about here, first and foremost, is going to be that of film grain, which, when turned on, is going to make everything look very grainy, obviously, and ultimately less clear. Basically, when you have film grain turned on, everything is going to look a lot more fuzzy. And of course, in a Battle Royale situation, you are going to be trying to spot players at distances far greater than you'll ever encounter in multiplayer. Visibility is going to be a major factor in gaining that information. So you will definitely want to keep film grain turned all the way down to 0. Now, speaking of clarity and overall visibility, another major factor in that is going to be motion blur, which this year you actually have to turn off for 2 separate things if you want to have the best and clearest picture possible. So we've got both world motion blur and weapon motion blur in the settings menu, and much like film grain, you always want to have these things turned off. Sure, the motion blur might look cool when it comes to cinematics, but in terms of overall effectiveness, any kind of blur or fuzz on your screen is once again going to make it much harder to see enemies, especially at longer distances. So make sure those are turned off completely. Now let's also talk audio settings. These are ultimately going to be pretty crucial as well. Audio information in this game is extremely important, and especially in Battle Royale, where obviously you only have one life, or, pending the result of the Gulag 1v1, maybe 2, using those audio cues and hints can be super beneficial. Now, just like in regular multiplayer, the most popular audio settings are going to be boost and boost low if you are using a gaming headset. Of course, everyone has their own unique setup. Some people go all out with surround sound speakers, others use Astros or Turtle Beaches or whatever else, so it is kind of dependent on your specific equipment. But if you do use a headset, boost and boost low are without a doubt the best ways to hear enemy footsteps, or just footsteps in general. They will be highlighted the most on these options, so if you want to be able to hear that player running outside your building a bit easier, I would highly recommend giving one of those presets a try. Then on top of that, I would also recommend changing your audio volumes. Here, what you want to focus on the most is that effects volume, so personally I leave that at max alongside master volume, but you can have that at any volume you deem fit. What you do want to do, though, is turn down both dialogue and music. Music more than anything else, because that just doesn't really provide you any necessary information. Now, dialogue can be somewhat important here and there, so I leave that a little over halfway up. The music can definitely be turned down or even turned all the way off, just because it's really not all that important. So as far as audio goes, that is how I would recommend setting things up to give yourself the best and biggest advantage you possibly can. Then, next up, I do want to briefly mention your slide controls. This can apply to both console and PC. And if you are really wanting to take Call of Duty seriously, this is a setting you'll really want to pay attention to for this year. Because
I'm so hungry. Hey, Lancelot, you'll help me out. You're a nice guy. Give me some money.
Because making sure you are using the tap option for your slide and crouch animations is going to allow you to basically master the movement system. Now, one of the main benefits here, because making sure this can apply to both console and PC, and if you are really wanting to take Call of Duty seriously, this is a set
slide behavior. There we go.
You'll really want to pay attention to for this year, because making sure you are using the tap option for your slide and crouch animations is going to allow you to basically master the movement system. Now, one of the main benefits that using the tap to engage the animation gives you is the ability to slide cancel easier, which is a huge mechanic to use to your advantage in those close range gunfights. And in addition to that, specifically in Warzone, it is going to make maneuvering around just a little bit easier. So here's how I see it. A target that is simply running is going to be a whole lot easier to take out than one that is running, sliding, crouching, dodging, ducking, dipping, diving, and dodging, and tapping instead of holding might not seem like it's going to make a huge difference, but ultimately it will play into the game even in the smallest of ways. And, while we're on the topic of movement, your button layouts will also have a relatively small, but noticeable impact as well. Now, personally, I do use a scuff controller, use code IMMORTAL by the way, had to do it to him, couldn't miss the opportunity, but basically, the scuff allows me to use paddles on the back for all the buttons on my controller, and then, when I combine that with the tactical button layouts, I'm then able to crouch and slide by simply tapping the thumbstick, making things even more convenient. So a simple change like that can also give you some extra help in-game too. Now, for those of you that play on controller, whether it be on console or PC, there is also a series of settings that you should definitely take into consideration to once again enhance your overall experience. So one of the biggest things on controller is obviously going to be sensitivity. And this year we do have two different options for that. Initially we have the basic horizontal and vertical sensitivity, and here you want to be using a nice middle of the pack setting. This way you can be precise with those close range fights, but also not all over the place in long range engagements. So personally, I either use a 9-8 or a 10-9, However, seeing as the map is so big here in Warzone and a lot of fights could potentially be taking place at a range, even an 8-7 could work well too. Then, in addition to that, you do also have ADS sensitivity, and personally, I like to drop it down just a bit. That way my aim when I ADS is just a little more precise. So I'll use around a 0.85 or 0.9 for both high zoom and also low zoom. Now, when we are talking about controllers, we can't go without mentioning aim assist. That is a very big one. And this year, it's really not too complex. Honestly, the best aim assist from my hours and hours of gameplay on each is just going to be the standard option, as this is going to be the most...
Let's see. Vertical.
Here's the definition of vertical. At right angles to a horizontal.
consistent, and 2, the most natural. So really, I wouldn't recommend changing anything there. Then, we've also got to talk about aim response curve type, as this is a brand new setting in Call of Duty Flex. Honestly, the best aim assist from my hours and hours of gameplay on each is just going to be the standard option, as this is going to be 1, the most consistent, and 2, the most natural. So really, I wouldn't recommend changing anything there. Then, we've also got to talk about aim response curve type, as this is a brand new setting in Call of Duty this year, and one you will most certainly want to pay some attention.
Aim response curve type. Vertical, see autos. Hello? It's weird. Hello? It's weird, I can hear people talking. Oh, it's this. What do you say? Fuck.
2. Now, is just going to be the standard option, as this is going to be 1, the most consistent, and 2, the most natural. So really, I wouldn't recommend changing anything there. Then, we've also got to talk about aim response curve type, as this is a brand new setting in Call of Duty this year, and one you will most certainly want to pay some attention to, there. Then, we've also got to talk about aim response curve type, as this is a brand new...
Aim response curve type? Where's that at? Aim assist? Weapon mount? Oh, here we go. What the hell, he's going backwards?
Setting in Call of Duty this year, and one you will most certainly want to pay some attention to. Now, the standard curve type is going to feel like what we've had in the past. However, it's not necessarily going to be the best option. Dynamic is a little inconsistent since it is based on reverse S-curve mapping, and what I find to be the most consistent, because literally, factually, it is the most consistent, is that of the linear setting, as this will be a direct one-to-one correlation between what you do with your stick and what your character does in-game. So, for the most accurate and consistent setting here, linear is absolutely the way to go. Now, another small setting that personally I always turn off is that of vibration, because once again, for consistency, I want my controller to feel the same all the time. You know, I don't want it to be one way for a minute, and then the next it's rumbling in my hand. Basically, that can throw off your aim slightly, it can mess with your grip, and in general, vibration is great for immersion, but terrible for competing at a higher level. So that is one I would recommend disabling. Then, finally, the last setting we're going to look at today is going to be auto sprint, which is another one you will want to turn off, because getting caught sprinting is one of the worst situations there is, especially if you don't have much health or armor. So instead of always sprinting the second you move forward via auto sprint, I'd say it really is best to just manually control the difference between walking and sprinting. That way you can sort of limit your chances of getting caught in a situation that you don't want to be in. Now, with all of that being said, those are the best settings to use here in Warzone, and that is going to wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, or if you just found it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new here, and you want to stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty news and
Hello guys, so in my YouTube comments,
Alright guys, one more.
settings for
I'm ready.
console and PC.
One more and I'm ready.
Settings to
I gotta
improve
get these
PC
settings going.
performance and also mount and be a 1000.
My bad. I wish I would have did this
video.
before I streamed.
Later on in the video, I'll The first setting that will significantly improve your Warzone gameplay on console and PC is located under the Movement tab or Controls and Movement tab, and that is Parachute Auto Deploy. And you want to have this disabled. With Parachute Auto Deploy enabled, at a certain level close to the ground, you're going to automatically deploy your chute. However, with it disabled, you control when you open your chute, and you can open it much closer to the ground. This can mean the difference between life and death in a hot drop situation where you need to get to the guns first. Next up, we're going to talk about our minimap options for PC and console. This will always be on the General tab.
Oh, I already got that.
Scroll down to the HUD options, and you will find minimap shape and minimap rotation. Here, you want to set minimap shape to square. This is because with a square shape, you have a much larger area that's covered by the map. This will also help when you're rotating around to spot enemies earlier that might be hidden in the corners of a rounder map. You'll also want to set minimap rotation to enabled. This way, when you see enemies on your minimap, rotate your character so that the dots are in the top of your map. That way you can guarantee that you're facing the right direction. The last three settings that apply to console and PC are world motion blur, weapon motion blur, and film grain. Make sure to disable all three of these, as none of these help you see your targets any better. As for audio settings, I won't go into too much detail. There's already a lot of videos on this. The only two that I would recommend are boost and boost low to hear footsteps better.
I thought boost high.
Because
That's two people that say boost and boost low. Ever since Black Ops 3, I've always was taught boost high, and even that other video said boost high. Choose each change well. Okay. Boost low. Yo, hello. Oh. Press to chat. Wait. Select. What are the range? Enhance high frequencies and boost low. Enhance low frequencies. Dude, it has. What are the natural? No, it's boost high, dude. Fuck that. Boost high is the best.
To work best for me. Another really important setting that doesn't seem to exist for console but is only on PC is under keyboard and mouse. Then you just press the PC specific graphics settings for maximum frame rate. We focus on performance over quality as this gives you a competitive edge over your opponents. Opponent can meet to your options and click on the graphics tab. Always want your games in full screen focus, in which around 200 FPS below. However, a lot of textures will be visibly blurry and content. I would go for these settings, turn them off just in case. Tessellation is purely a beauty feature, we can turn that off. Shadow map resolution set to low might make your shadows a little bit jagged, but it doesn't affect your gameplay. You will still see player silhouettes as they're coming around corners. Now, you'll actually want to turn cache spot shadows and cache sun shadows on for performance. This means that they'll be stored in memory for next time, and the game doesn't have to reload them. Particle lighting and ambient occlusion are another two settings that you'll barely notice the difference, whether being high or low. I definitely in game. If you're coming down sight, under general settings on PC, they have a field of view slider. and turning on the frames per second is the meta. However, it will stay the same when zooming in with short range.
Alright, that's it.
Below
We're ready to go, I think.
centimeters per full 360-degree
Good,
turn.
I got that.
Sensitivity between 20 to 40 centimeters per 360 is what I would recommend for someone looking for a new sensitivity. If you wanted to try my sensitivity, you would have to set your FOV exactly the same as mine, your mouse sensitivity to 7.69 as it is here, and your mouse DPI to 400. Then you would have the same sensitivity. However, I would not recommend this sensitivity for someone new to PC gaming or if you have a small mouse map. I will link a website where you can convert your sensitivity below. I also use relative aim down sight mouse sensitivity. This means that when I'm hip firing and I'm aiming down sight at a 0% monitor distance coefficient, my aim will feel exactly the same whether...
Alright, let's do this. Oh, open mic recording threshold, voice chat. What is that? Voice chat's okay. Volume threshold required to trigger microphone recordings. Hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. The hell is that? Yo. Hello, hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello. What is this? Voice chat volume. I could do that already. Microphone volume. Threshold requires trigger microphone recording. I didn't get that. Alright, so no chat effects, what's that? Stealth kills. Microphone volume. So we go there. Account. What's this? Crossplay. Oh yeah. That's how we're gonna do it. Streamer mode. Connect first party C only for in public games. Streamer mode. When enabled, streamer mode replaces other players' game tags with random names except for your... Oh, no, that's cool. Do not sell my personal information. I don't care if you sell my personal information. Network. Showing. What's that? Origin. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Alright now.
DIDO TV. Most people go through life oblivious to all the deception that's going on around us at all times. Some people wake up to this nightmare and see that from the moment that we are born, the establishment begins programming us and molding our minds for their own benefit. Our educational system is just a way to brainwash us all into being occupied.
These crazy days that we live in just cause me aches and pains. Lately my life is like a season of Stranger Things.
This place is flooded with demons and they invade your brains. This is an artificial hell and they create the flames. Day to day, I just try to stay strong and make it through. Wake people up from their slumber, that's what I came to do. Please don't believe what you see on TV and think it's true. It's all just targeted programming and it's aimed at you. It's everywhere. You're getting lied to and yet you barely care. People with common sense are now very rare. But the way that they brainwash you isn't very fair. They can show that mind control programming of their scary.
Oh, I forgot I took that off. Damn. Oh.
They claim you have freedom, but they don't honor it. The world is a prison and you're the occupant. And satanic pedophiles are prominent. Living in the things that you believe are the total opposite. And being called crazy is just a compliment.
Wait till I'm over, mate. You're going to the water.
And there's no stopping it. It's where we live and control you to be. Keep you in a mental prison with a television. Where the system resists, listen, they just keep living in it. To the prison is getting another edition. What if you really think you can get it? Get the strong in. When it gets a thing, it's all the things about. That's only a little change when you play that now. It's the game, but you can't pass out. When you turn on the TV, y'all think you get politically entertainment. The news that you see is all suggested. No one brings you for this, could you watch that? Responding, telling me that we're free living in this country. That I tell you overseas, that it's all for our peace. That the records on repeat from the programming. I call it one a cracker. Put you through education for domestication, control my mind faster. Giving you medication to prison our masses. If you ever question what's coming from our masters. Road up, here goes. Get your mind looking like a vampire show. Brain government.
Eliminate all targets in the AO.
Cause people are just like sheep that are lining up for the slaughter. If they're killing rats with fluoride, then why is it in the water? They're using the news to fool us, divide us so they can conquer. The longer you stay asleep, then the longer I'm gonna scream at you. I can't believe you let them deceive you. It's inconceivable. I won't stop until you wake up and do what you need to do. This world is overrun with an evil that is unspeakable. Most people don't know, so they just vote and pay taxes. The devil's hiding in the shadows and controlling their actions. They think that the earth is a spinning globe on its axis. But I don't have any time to devote to this madness. I have nobody to relate to, so I ride alone. Just me and all these wild thoughts that are inside my dome. I feel like I don't belong here and I can't find my home. I'm tripping and I'm wishing it was different, but we're living in the... They claim you have freedom, but they don't honor it. The world is a prison and you're the occupant. We're living in the government's useless and they're incompetent. And satanic pedophiles are prominent. We're living in the things that you believe are the total opposite. And being called crazy is just a compliment. Trimmed by the new world order conglomerate. But there's a storm coming and there's no stopping it. We're living in the Twilight Zone. And there's nowhere that we can go. Awaken now, I'm feeling all alone. We're living in the Twilight Zone.
think it's too bright. What do you think? What I've done? Oh fuck, how come I didn't show you wrote me? It's just a conspiracy, man. There's so much going on. Like different things. I'm not really allowed to speak about it too much now that it's going on, but I mean, we had pretty crazy conversations and about a lot of things, and I don't know. I'm actually happy everything's coming along where it needs to be, but oh shit! There's just like a Oh, hell yeah. Got a gun? So how you been, man? What do you think about it?
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Like I said, me personally, I just feel it's a. I mean, there's specific things I do know, but like now, but like I said, I just obviously, as you know, you can't really talk about it yet. But pretty soon, I feel we have already said enough in the past. You know, you know it. All right, I need to get out of here. Oh shit! I'm not gonna do that. So how you been, man? You tell me what you been up to.
Gas inbound.
I'll read what you wrote right now. Let me just get in the clear right here. Right here. Dude, I'm still using my PlayStation Gold headset. I have the... How much do... Oh, shit. Let's see, I'll get this. Alright. Got some, let's see, I gotta put a lot of theories I had coming to light. The main thing is mission control, fake virus to gain more control. The vaccine is obviously gonna have more evidence. And how's life on your side? It's been good, man. I've been streaming a little bit here and there on Twitch. I'm just, I could buy more. There we go. Good, but let me tell you something. I'll tell you a little secret, okay? I have a hidden Twitter. And I haven't posted like what it is. It kind of got hacked a little bit ago. I'm kind of guessing who, but don't. I kind of had an idea who it was, but not sure. But I don't want to say. Oh, so anyways, I had a Twitter. I'm gonna get it back. It got suspended. I was notified I just got unsuspended. But I was studying years ago. I was studying about that. Damn, that's too many shots. I should have had a headshot. Let me see. Which gun is better?
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
So I was studying about Bill Gates, right? Like I was studying all about Bill Gates. And, you know, I was following him for a while. Not like following him like that, but like, you know, studying him. Because I kind of knew what he was about. I understood that he used a part of his real name. But it was all part of the game, right? So everyone's all tripping about Bill Gates right now with the antivirus this,
Request recon flyover. UAV
and then after, you know what I mean? So, and I was studying a long time ago is why he was buying out and getting all the seeds. He has an island or something like that, and he has all the seeds in the world. So when I started learning about the root of all evil, obviously, which is comes from a seed. It can't be a root without a seed, right? So then after, so I'm beyond that. You know what I mean? Like I said, me and Bill Gates are cool because, like, dude, trust me. I'm glad he has the vaccine shit and he has everything, or maybe, whatever it is they're trying to say he did. Because think about it. Wouldn't that be the perfect gatekeeper? Duh, you have to go through Bill Gates, right? But now, in order to create your own universe or to create your own world, you're going to have to go through Bill Gates for the seeds. Nobody paid attention to the seeds he invested into many. Oh, I'm an idiot. He invested into. No. No! Fuck! I fucked that up, Pete. I was stupid. I should have switched my guns while I was paying attention last week. Okay. So, anyways, now that I'm dead. Okay, so so I studied years ago about the seeds, that Bill Gates invested in, and how there's certain seeds in the world that no longer exist, but he has the patents and he has the oh shit, hold on. He
Now go sort this fucker out.
Give me a second. So he has all the seeds, right? So there's certain seeds in this world that no longer exist for certain trees or certain life or certain things. So I studied all that, dude. I studied all the seeds he had and why and obviously what he was trying to do. But this was about 10 years ago. So again, nobody's caught on to that yet. Oh, dude, I have to. My guns. Nobody's caught on to that yet. You know what I mean? But they will. Pretty much, they're gonna realize, like, who gives a shit about all the vaccine shit, or who gives a shit about this and that? It's all gonna be about the seeds. He has patents for seeds. And he has certain seeds nobody has. Oh, I lost all my money too? Freak. Oh, I hear it, Where's it at? It's on the other side. Damn it. Yeah, dude, it's a trip, dude. Telling you, study it and look it up, and like I said, I knew about the virus and all this bullshit, dude. When you know certain people, or again, when you're immortal, you actually will give each other viruses and see, like, if you die from it or not. Dude, I've already was given all kinds of viruses, and so has others, and we're still here surviving, and we don't have it. But and then once you start learning about the seeds and you start learning about creating your own planets and your own universe and all that stuff, you gotta go through Bill Gates, which, again, most likely he's the gatekeeper. He used I think, 1/4 of his name, of his real name. And then, of course, Bill, obviously anybody could say, oh, the movie Kill Bill, that's what they were trying to say, Kill Bill. You know what I mean? And again, you could kill Bill, but he doesn't die. So, remember, you guys, when we did a live stream on Twitch and everything, we talked about Bill dying. Dude, I'm loving this, dude. This game is feeling good right now. I got my internet fixed today, too. I couldn't stream for a bit because my internet was all shitty. So that's why I had to go out and do live streams out somewhere, and I was streaming from my cell phone again. And then I got suspended on Twitch for 7 days I mean, I still do on Twitch, but today I just want to do YouTube. But I got suspended on Twitch for 7 days because I was talking to a kid from the future. He was from the future, which his future was the BC, right? Like, that's his future. And he told me what year, but he told me that English was ancient language, and like the languages we speak now is just an ancient language. But what was crazy is when I was talking to him, I don't know if anyone's seen the stream, when I was talking to him, he said he was from the future, but again, his future was the BC, which it is the future. So is the Earth going to be a planet, and will the regular population ever venture into space? Well, I mean, the regular, you gotta remember, the regular population is already in space. I hear someone.
Losing ground.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta start thinking basic. You gotta think like they've already been in space. They already are in space, you know? You gotta start thinking different realms and dimensions, and you gotta think for your own universe and your own mind, you know? Okay, all I gotta do is go like this. Bam! Right the fucking... You know what I mean? You gotta think, like, you gotta start, like, and then, oh, catch this. You also gotta start, doing defense mechanisms. You gotta start, remember, I told you how you gotta start, that's not only the mind and the brain are two separate things. So you gotta start coming up with, defense mechanisms now, to start, you gotta, like, pretty much, now that your spirit and your mind and your brain and your body and your souls and everything are all working together, now they have to work together to build defense mechanisms. I mean, remember, there's social distance, you know what I mean? Like, they're talking about social distance. Remember, when I was on Ice Poseidon's, Ice Poseidon's show? Remember, I was talking about, your social security and how an officer or even a person of anybody at all, like not even an officer, they are not allowed to socialize with you without providing your social security number. And I talked about that years ago on Ice Poseidon's chat, and now all of a sudden we have 6 feet of social distance, and they call it 6 feet social distance, which again, you have your social security, and I said nobody's allowed to socialize with me unless they provide their social security number. And we proved that when those cops on the street and Skid Row did not... They didn't talk to us, you know what I mean? They didn't talk to me, at least. Oh my gosh, here we go. Oh shit, did I switch? Fuck. No! He's behind me. No! Fuck! Oh, stupid, I needed to get out of there. Oh, dude, he has a badass gun and shit. Fuck. Nah. Hey man, my second got 7. That's not bad. I'm new to this game. Alright, I gotta change my account name. Alright. Account. Matchmaking, only use your current platform. See, I want that, but I got to actors. Here we go. No, is it showing my... No, it's okay, I don't care. Change display name. Here we go. We're gonna witness my new name. Well, which is still my... Damn. I hope no one has it. I'm gonna be so pissed off. I'm gonna go on a rampage. Yes! We are in. You have been disconnected. Okay. Hey, dude, I'll be right back. And remember, dude, think like beyond. Think big, dude. Think you have your own universe. Think about it like this. Think about every single star in this universe is actually another universe inside the main universe. So imagine someone that's able to control everyone else's universe because everyone else's universe is actually within inside one big universe. Do you get what I'm saying now? So it's pretty much a like stop thinking a dream within a dream within a dream, like Inception or a nightmare or a dimension. Start putting it all together, because when you put it all together, now you're going to start thinking universes inside universes. And then you're going to start competing with others, your universe versus other universes. Do you want to be the main universe that controls all the universes? Or do you want to be one of the universes that's controlled by a main universe? That's what you got to decide. I'll be right back. Guess who's back? Back again. Hey, so I'm gonna let you decide. What was your? Oh, John Doe knows. So John Doe knows. I'm gonna play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. All right, we'll do this. All right, so let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so ready? I'm gonna play one more solo game, okay? And then you let me decide, do you want to keep talking about certain things, or do you want me to play squads and then I can start messing with people? So either I can, I can stay on here and we can talk some more, or we can chit chat because it's been a while, or I can play some squads after this and I can start messing with people. Like really, really, really mess with them. And if they look at my Instagram and they look at my YouTube playlist, they're gonna know I'm real. And then I add my Twitter up top of that. They're done, dude. They're gonna realize what an emperor is, what a platinum dragon is. You know, what a jungle god is. You know, you gotta remember, there's a jungle god, dude. You know. But before I became a jungle god, I was like a fox god, and then before I became the ocean man, I was what was I before ocean man? Dude, I'm telling you can evolve yourself. Everybody can do this. They can evolve themselves. And remember, the ocean is the sea. It's outer space, I guess you could say. You know, or space itself. That's the ocean. Ocean man. But, you know, of course, to a mortal, the ocean is something blue with water, with fishies in it, and maybe Aquaman. I mean, might as well believe in Aquaman now. I mean, what else, you know? Like, shit, dude. I mean, no one believed in the coronavirus, and here we are. I think I'd rather believe in Aquaman at this moment than the coronavirus. Alright, let's time it right! Oh, shit, that was good. Oh, so good. Oh, you mother effer! I knew someone was behind me. Here we go.
Alright, that's enough fucking
Oh,
about. Now we
shoot.
do this for real.
So what's up, dude? Come on. Speak to me, speak to me.
Battle Royale.
And of course you're gonna speak to me when the game starts, huh? You little bastard. That's just like you. Was I ever mean to you? I think I was, right? When I was like fighting my own demons and angels and shit. There's a lot of people I had to take away in my life for a while. I didn't really take people out. I just didn't open up to people as much anymore. So I had business to take care of, you know? Oh, you mother.
Your primary objective is to kill them all. Objective is to eliminate the bounty target.
Oh, someone was here already, huh? Where are you at? Huh? Where are you at? Huh? You sucker. Oh, snap. Gimme, gimme. What? Man, imagine this game, like, if it was, cause I like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, or no, Infinite Warfare, dude, where you could, like, fly around and shit. Imagine this game, or it was like that, but you could fly around. God, I'm telling you, they need to do it. They need to do it. But the jetpacks are climbing on the walls and shit, but you're able to do it, like, here? Fuck, dude.
Enemy UAV overhead.
I gotta test these guns out. There it is! Maztor Ur Sins 64, baby. That's what's up. I'm no longer a sinner. 111. Oh, no, what's up? So what's up, man? Tell me. How you been? What's going on? Talk to me. What? This gun sucks. I was right on him.
Contract time expired. We lost the target. overhead.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. Where's that pink gun I have?
Gas is moving.
There it is. There we go. Oh! Oh! That scared the shit out of me.
Enemy UAV overhead.
My hands are so sweaty. I hear him.
Oh, bullshit.
Sorry, buddy. Damn, I can't do both. I do this. No, I don't have the right gun. My hands are so sweaty.
Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly loadout drop on the way. Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone. Target bomb! Send it!
This is Striker 3-1, good copy. Strike inbound. Impact, no joy.
Damn, I need some shields. Oh shit. Don't find me, please, I'll bring it back.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
Somebody's watching me.
I'm late on my rent. These Jewish gangsters have me in debt. I'm always super disappointed when I'm cashing my check. Stacking again, a money slave trapped in the net, and I can feel these demons down the back of my neck. Every single move I make is logged and tracked. I won't even use my phone, I know they've got it tapped. Keep my eyes wide open, gotta watch my back. Never sleep again, I'm an insomniac. Just trying to survive, otherwise suffer defeat. So I'm hustling in the street just to get something to eat. Fuck the police, the government, and fuck the elite. This world is full of evil, scum and overrun with deceit. So I gotta look over my shoulder constantly. Plus they try to control my mind subconsciously. But I'm a glitch in the system, I'm an anomaly. My middle finger's in the air, I know they're watching me.
Moonlight, somebody's watching me.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Somebody's watching me.
Squirrels on some secret shit. The lions on the plane. Way out where you can see us live. Squirrels on some secret shit. The lions on the plane. Way out where you can see us live. 5G network, no sneaking out, no sneaking in. Log in and survey yourself and your closest friends. They building on us. Can't wait till we post the content to store our lives on terabytes and library of kindness. The opposite to progress. Straightforward. Cameras on me everywhere, yet they making me pay for it. I'm not feeling it, man. It's past my ability to understand why you won't get out and get it by any means. Smart home shut down by
cam is still mercantine, so we gotta cut the head off the serpent with the guillotine.
Enemy UAV overhead. Gas is moving in. New safe zone located. Gas is inbound.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
In America, they watch you and they track your every move.
Enemy UAV overhead.
They're even putting poison in your food. In America, the people are too blind to see the truth. But it's too late, and there's nothing we can do. In America, just watch your favorite show and watch the news, so they can pre-program you with your view. In America, get a job, obey the law, support the troops, and just get back, cause there's nothing we can do. This is the divided states of Illuminati land. People stumbling all over the place like zombies, man. Just like the Walking Dead, they got this country zombified. All your water's fluoridated, all your food is modified. You are what you eat, so I guess that means that you're a GMO. And you don't even know, but you're too blind to see it though. You have to be asleep to have the American dream. Just how they need it, cause your freedom was never a thing. The best kind of slaves are the slaves that don't know that they're slaves. Stuck in a daze and they behave how they're told to behave. Good little sheeple people, always happy, always grateful. No revolting, no rebelling, no uprising, no upheaval. The ones that rule us wanna keep us all clueless and weak. It's not looking so good for humans, the future is bleak. You think you are unique, but really you're a replica. Created by the false education that they gave you here. In America, they watch you and they track your every move. They're even putting poison in your food. In America, the people are trying to see the truth. But it's too late, and there's nothing we can do. In America, just watch your favorite show and watch the news, so they can pre-program you with your view. In America, obey the law, support the troops, and just get back, cause there's nothing we can do.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the goal.
We are conditioned every minute of every day, and being ignorant is just the American way. The national debt is a debt we can never repay, but if they say to pay your taxes, you better obey. Hypocritical kingdom of wicked criminals using symbols and signals to fill your head with subliminals. When you watch TV, it's corroding your mind. When the 5G network goes online, there'll be nowhere to hide. Electromagnetic frequencies all around us so frequently. Nothing is what it seems to be. They deceive us so easily. No one even believe in me while they're meeting in secrecy. Have you seen the world recently? Never treating us decently. What happened to liberty and justice for all? Dictators free themselves, but we don't get nothing at all. I just want you to know the truth, so please don't shoot the messenger. It's a bitch, but this is how it is when you live in America. They watch you and they track your every move. They're even putting poison in your food. In America, the people are too blind to see the truth. But it's too late, and there's nothing we can do. In America, just watch your favorite show and watch the news, so they can pre-program you with
Gas is moving. Safe zone
Obey the
located.
law, support the troops, and just get back, cause there's nothing we can do.
I was screwing. I was missing. I knew I should have. I knew it. I was fucking around. No, I'm getting close, but Oh, is that what the mask is for? Oh, okay. I get it.
We the sheeple, hear no, see no, and speak no evil. We get lied to so much, it seems normal to be deceitful. We'll never be treated equal, and I wanna know why. Rich people start all the wars, but only poor people die. Just take a look, it's so easy to see the system is rigged by degenerate pigs targeting our innocent kids. They start programming you just as soon as you exit the womb. Now money is your god, you must obey and consume. Always practice conformity, stay within the majority. Never think for yourself, and do not question authority. Man, I still can't even believe this is the way that they have us. I'm taking my chances, I have to try and wake up the masses. Can't get away from the madness, but still I'm trying my best. And as long as I'm still alive, I will fight till the death. Because we cannot let this be the end. It's now or never, sink or swim. The time has come for the great awakening. Never sleep again. Every single day we're being led astray and lied to. I don't think there's anyone that hates it more than I do. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm alone and no one knows the things I know. There's nobody to talk to and there's nowhere I can go. Trapped inside the system and I'm caught up in the struggle. One day I hope to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Listen, I woke up with a fever today. Sick of the fact people believe everything that this evil media say. Morality has been deleted away. Zionist heathens display that they're the predators who see us as prey. Transparency is what they need to pervade. They even have us thinking that eating the fruit that has no
For deployment. Now's the
victims of greed and impeded by hate. The get the God of Satan's leading the way. Ravenous riches, scientists with moral character glitches, preparing malicious conditions and sick marriages, witches, seeing leaders wearing this cage. Battles for riches, while the global class is carrying on. But it feels more like 1984. Our rights are fading away. Every day they're taking more. It's time to stand and take action. What are we waiting for? They're waging war on humanity. This we can't ignore. My brain is full of remarkable life. All of the Phoenix swallow a penis, and we're not gonna stop until we know all of your secrets. The Bible says in our final days our knowledge increases. That is exactly what's happening now on this challenging road that we're traveling down. We have to get rowdy, we have to get rowdy, spreading the truth and just I'm always watching these videos, often like Richie from Boston to keep me the scoop. Waking the world up to spitting the truth like a doctor that's handing out videos to everyone. What in the world is spreading a parent inherits a woman? Nobody cares. Everyone's greedy and nobody shares. I'm going to help you put me in my prayers. Like how we must separate me from the tares.
Have you ever tried changing your path, doing the right thing? Be a better man, be a better woman, only to find out that you're gonna get shit on at each turn? It's disheartening. It kind of makes you want to resort back to your own way. Like, fuck it. Why should I try to be good when there's nothing left good in this world? I'm on my way down, 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 I'm on my way back down, I'm on my way 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 back down, I'm on my way down, I'm on my way back down. Keep sinking a little deeper, and I'm screaming, fuck the world, sticking up my middle finger. I know what's going on here, and I just don't belong here. I'm in my own personal hell, and it's just through down my ear. But nope, not now and not here. Never see me going out like a punk, but no matter how hard I try to fly, I feel trapped in a box where time is stuck. I still try my luck like a fighting duck. You can't win if you don't even play the game, but that's just it. You play, and things just always stay the same. And everybody's just so fucking lame, and the women ain't built like they used to be. And it's not just about how humans are stupid, but we are being controlled ruthlessly. And truthfully, we need a mutiny, but nobody's ready to rise up. It's a lost tradition, and I'm on the mission, but the clock is ticking. Now time's up, and I'm tough, but that's just not enough in all totality. The rulers have you sidetracked while they hijack your reality. Feel like I'm about to drown, and I just have to frown. No laughing matter, I feel my passion come crashing down. On my way down, I'm 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 on my way back down, I'm on my way 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 back down, I'm on my way down. I used to have a fear of falling, but now I hear it calling, and it's appalling. My spirit's longing, I feel it crawling. It's
really haunting. My mind's dissolving to nothingness, and it's exhausting. I never thought I'd be wanting this, but I'm I had to crave the pain. The way these weak-minded cowards just love to say my name. These people don't even know me, homie. They probably couldn't even walk a block in my shoes. People like to keep me on the bottom where it's rotten and I'm lost and forgotten, but it's not what I choose. I really want to tell you that I'm not gonna lose, but I don't have a clue as I fall in this pit. The same motherfuckers that be acting all cool are the same motherfuckers that be talking that shit. Stop it now, quick, get up off of my dick. Don't come here being friendly, then switch up like that and stab me in the back. Cause you are just pretending. I'll never let them get me. Keep my eyes wide and stay up. Never sleep again, my friend, and try to get me to wake up. But this shit's so insane now. The pain and hatred breaks down. I was on my way up, but now I'm on my way back down. This world is out of control. Look at what they've done to us. They're coming after our souls, each and every one of us. What do you think marketing's for? It's kind of hard to ignore. They want consumers that will shop until they drop to the floor. We're just some pawns in the greatest game that was ever played. The TV is the most dangerous weapon ever made. Every time you put on a movie, every time you're watching the news, every time you see a commercial, they are brainwashing you. They ain't brainwashing me, man, they better turn around. I'll take a piss on the system before I burn it down. We're living in a humongous prison, it's ludicrous. You've been a slave since the day you came out the uterus. You're getting played like a sucker and it's a bummer. I'm just here to try to help you break the spell that you're under. Because there's more of us than there are of them, but we must align. We're gonna have to move quickly, we're running out of time. It's hard to be awake when the rest of the world is blind. Everything that happens is happening by design. They want to steal your soul and they want to control your mind. Please open up your eyes, we are running out of time. It's hard to be awake when the rest of the world is blind. Everything that happens is happening by design. They want to steal your soul and they want to control your mind.
Load up, drop inbound.
We are running out of time. The New World Order is all about total domination. That's why they're constantly dumbing down the whole population. And
Gas is closing in.
Is
Relocate
nothing more
at the
than
same time.
indoctrination. And propaganda is propagated across the nation. We're kept occupied with money, they always got us chasing. That's why your dead-end job is called an occupation. And they fill us up with fluoride to kill our concentration. GMOs and prescription pills, killer combination. Now mix it with television and it's a done deal. You're deep inside an illusion and don't know what's real. We live inside a society that's been engineered. You willingly give up privacy but still live in fear. They're manufacturing your thoughts and you don't even know it. You don't believe me just because you see no reason for it. So just ignore it and keep thinking everything is fine when it clearly isn't, and we're running out of time. It's hard to be awake
another place? Have you ever wondered what it's like on other planets? When you watch a science show and come to believe you understand it, you feel empowered by the knowledge and you feel enlightened. Listening to Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson, but then you wake up and you start to see the obvious. Life is just a lie and this whole world ain't what we thought it was. NASA's missions to the moon were never completed. They just filmed them in a room and people believe it. I used to wonder what it's like to be an astronaut. Now when I see them acting, I can't help but to laugh a lot. They give us cartoons and they claim that we live on a ball, but it's flat and it's not moving or spinning at all. Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go. By winners of wars, Jesuit order, bazaars, Freemasons, and more. They pulled the veil over our eyes and it's time to awaken. Through organized indoctrination, our minds have been taken. It's time we take our power back and we
enemy
rescue our
team is
people.
tracking
The
your
Vatican
location.
and the bankers are like Resident Evil. They may have had the greatest plan that was ever concocted, but Illuminati never thought that they'd ever be spotted. They're manufacturing reality all in our heads. They tell you if the earth is flat, then you'll fall off the edge. But if it is a spinning ball, you won't fall off it then. And gravity is our imaginary magic friends. Why is water always flat when unmanipulated? Why are pictures of the earth computer generated? Why you lying to us, man? That's something that we want to know. After that, you're gonna have to pack up all your stuff and go.
Fucking piece of shit. Fuck, man. I was trying to get in there and that's some bullshit.
Dear NASA, it's becoming 100% crystal clear.
Sort them out or capture these
Solution are connected and are deceiving the entire world.
Oh! I screwed that up.
But we really want to know is, why are you lying? And do you really think you get it? It's time to pack all your stuff and go. Sincerely, the men, women, and children of this earth, and beautiful, beautiful flower.
We're holding for deployment. Now's a good time to warm up.
That command and speech, I'm tired on whack, motherfuckers rapping flash.
done. Time to kick this off.
Jesus have hands. They are caught up in a ballroom fantasy. How the world works actually. Inconvenient thought becomes a nothing casualty. Give me the Greek package answer, please. No matter how they censor us, man. Still giving them mainstream fantasy. With ODD and Manny Moses on the masterpiece. And we will never ever stop while the masses.
I don't understand how. I guess that's the state of our society now. Y'all think Dallas went deep? Well, you need to keep digging. Take a break from the mainstream. Do your own thinking. All that Kool-Aid you drinking. Don't know what about Red 40. Stuff's up carcinogen. Oh, but I guess that's boring. Nice for fun when the speaker is wrong. Turn a blind eye till death's knocking down your throat. Oh, you trust in God? Well, good for you. Must make it easy to deny all the dirty things they do. It makes me laugh when people think there's no hidden hand. Like the higher-ups are winning it without a plan. I'm talking Soros, Rothschild, and Rockefellers. Have to bring them behind the barn and give them the whole cellar. Parasitic psychopaths, and the system that we live in was designed to crash. The lawn is full of snakes slithering inside the grass. I'm gonna mow it so it's easier to find their ass. We need to talk about how the whole world has been enslaved. We need to talk about what happens when you misbehave. We need to talk about 9/11 and Sandy Hook. You won't find our true history written in any book. I can't stand to look at what's happening, it's overwhelming. I want to see people take a stand, but there's no rebelling. Sheeple getting bamboozled, but yet they barely notice. I'm flying riding with my soldiers, smoking Matty Moses. We're shedding light everywhere until all the roaches scatter. And we ain't stopping until we get who we're going after. Take back our power and then dig ourselves out of this hole. Create a better future for us. Yeah, that is the goal. I'm sick of living in this world. This shit is fucking me insane. All the hatred, all the bloodshed, all the anger and the pain. They try to pump us full of fear, but I will not let them fight it. And I'ma keep on fighting till I ain't got no more fight. I'm sick of living in this world. This shit is driving me insane. All the hatred, all the bloodshed, all the anger and the pain. They try to pump us full of fear, but I will not let them fight it. And I'ma keep on fighting till I ain't got no more fighting. Rule number one, I'll never follow any rules. Cause if I wanna do something, I'll do it if I choose. And part of it is just principle. Hard to get cause I'm sensible. That's the reason
person, I believe I'm a targeted individual. Our reality's fictional, this is all just a lie. We're all controlled by the pinnacle of the all-seeing eye. And if you ever wake up to this, you just live with the gas moving in what you have learned, but then there is no returning. You always feel something burning deep in the core of your mind, because you know if you go looking that there's more you can find. So you research all the time and see things are not what you find. But no matter what truth you discover, you're not gonna stop. You're on the ultimate quest to find what's real and what isn't. Sometimes it's hard to recognize the beast when living up in it. But hey, you did it, you made it, no longer stuck in the matrix. Only to realize that it sucks and you hate it. I'm sick of living in this world, this shit is driving me insane. All the hatred, all the bloodshed, all the anger and the pain. They try to talk the school up here, but I will not let them fight me. And I'ma keep on fighting till I ain't got no more fight. I'm sick of living in this world, this shit is driving me insane. All the hatred, all the bloodshed, all the anger and the pain. They try to pump a school up here, but I will not let them frighten me. And I'ma keep on fighting till I ain't got no more fighting me. They tell the truth in the movies and then they lie on the news. When I say they, I mean the Jesuits and Zionist Jews. So I gotta let the humans know we're living in the Truman Show. They bend us over backwards and they screw us in the booty hole. Tax us to death until we have nothing left. And that's just one of the many ways that they have us oppressed. We haven't progressed. Advanced tech, they have it suppressed. I don't feel blessed. This situation just has me depressed. We the people are deceived and I'm pursuing the proof. Three things cannot be hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. What a surprise, you finally uncovered the lies. You can spot the puppets because they cover one of their eyes. They are traitors to humanity, New World Order sellout. We don't want you here no more, so you can get the hell out. The world is just a stage and now we're booing you off it, cause we're done with all this bullshit, so stop. I'm sick of living in this world, this shit is driving me insane. All the hatred, all the bloodshed, all the anger and the pain. They try to pump a school of fear, but I will not let them frighten me. And I'ma keep on fighting till I ain't got no more fight. I'm sick of living in this world, this shit is driving me insane. All the hatred, all the bloodshed, all the anger and the pain. They try to pump a school of fear, but I will not let them frighten me. And I'ma keep on fighting till I ain't got no more fighting me.
Oh shit. Ah, damn. I should have looked up. Damn it. I'm just having fun. Just having fun.
While you wait, feel free to give these wankers a proper cheering. And if you find something to throw, feel free to give them that as well. There's a fight kicking off. Get ready to fight. You're next. Win here and you return to the front line. You lose, your fight is over. Sort them out or capture the objective.
Since I'm in the position to be in your head for a minute, I thought I might start competition like this in the brick. Keep blue collar for 40 years and yet he can't get me. But it's 52 million a day on some fake space missions. Money's in the wrong position, wrong pockets and purses. Actually, what the fact is that money is truly worthless. The purpose of printing money is to put you deeper in debt. The lower classes spend their whole lives trying to get me. And I'm about to do shit as a new deal. Tragically, when it happens to be reducing, I'm guessing that my conviction running makers actually can they fly with it. Conquer the day, continue to rule with it. Cool as a cucumber, but we hungry like some hostages. They live in paradise. Why they keep us where the monsters live? Call the metropolis. And then keeps it out. Generated solely by the populace. We spend all their lives trapped in the
actually all for real, and the truth is there to see on the back of a dollar bill. It's a pyramid with an all-seeing eye at the top, letting you know that you're a slave whether you like it or not. They make the rules and we're the ones that must obey. It's not a mystery. We're kept in the dark and we're kept away from our true history. The system we live in uses humans to harvest energy. So basically the Matrix is really a documentary. They live, we sleep, and they love to fuck us over. Bang, bang, skeet, skeet. They take over your minds and they control you with their lies. I just want you to open up your eyes. Tell me why are we so blind to see that there's no such thing as freedom? None of us are free. Tell me why are we so blind to see that there's no such thing as freedom?
Just inbound. Target identified. Drop the bomb.
Hey, gotta stay awake. 9 or 10 hours sleep again. 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 Why are we so blind to see that there's no such thing as freedom? When none of us are free. Tell me why are we so blind to see that there's no such thing as freedom? When none of us are free. We spent our whole damn lives trapped in the backstairs paradise. Keep spending our whole life living in the backstairs paradise. We spent our whole damn lives trapped in the backstairs paradise. Keep spending our whole life living in the backstairs paradise. You're wondering what life's about and what it really means. Nothing's what you thought it was and nothing's what it seems. Always stressed about the world and all the hurt that it can bring. But God is by your side, so don't you worry about a thing. You feel like you're so far away, no one can hear your screams. Even when you're sleeping, there's no comfort in your dreams. You're living while you're learning and the journey can begin. But God has got your back, so don't you worry about a thing. Every day just keeps repeating as you're passing through the season. Always struggling with something, always battling with demons. If it's happiness you're seeking, just be happy that you're breathing. They say everything that happens to you happens for a reason. Some days will be hard and then some will be even harder. There'll be times when you feel like you just can't take it any longer. But don't think of giving up, cause there's really no need to bother. Anything that doesn't kill you is making you even stronger. Life will rip you open and then pick you apart. You wish you could have known that's how it is from the start. But when you feel like you're alone and things get bitter and dark, just remember that you're a soldier. There's no fear in your heart. You're able and you're capable. Your strength is unmistakable. Your faith is so unshakable. The pain's made you unbreakable. Any situation that you're facing, you can make it through. God planned it to be that way the day that He created you. You're wondering what life's about and what it really means. Nothing's what you thought it was and nothing's what it seems. Always stressed about the world and all the hurt that it can bring. But God is by your side, so don't you worry about a thing. You feel like you're so far away, no one can hear your screams. Even when you're sleeping, there's no comfort in your dreams. You're living while you're learning and the journey can begin. But God has got your back, so don't you worry about a thing. If you put your mind to it, you can be unstoppable. Accomplish any goal you set or conquer any obstacle. Nothing that you cannot do, no problem is unsolvable. Just keep on holding on to hope and anything is possible. Keep on moving forward and stop living in the past. Start spending every minute as if it could be your last. All your dreams you are pursuing, you can get there in a flash. I know that you can do it if you get up off your ass. Time for you to do what you were born to do. The future will have so much more in store for you.
At times it might seem like God is ignoring you. If you keep on knocking, He will open up the door for you. This is the beginning, you will hit the ground running. The life that you envisioned, you can feel it now coming. The weight is lifted, you don't have to sit around bugging. God is with you, you don't have to trip about nothing. You're wondering what life's about and what it really is. Nothing's what you thought it was, and nothing's what it seems. Always stressed about the world and all the hurt that it can bring. But God is by your side, so don't you worry about a thing. You feel like you're so far away, no one can hear your screams. Even when you're sleeping, there's no comfort in your dreams. You're living while you're learning, and the journey can be long. But God has got your back, so don't you worry about a thing. Your back, so don't you worry about it.
Overhead. Gas is moving in. You say so, located.
All my homies are asking what I'm so mad at. The human race is enslaved, I can't see past that. And I'm sick of being treated like a lab rat. Turning all our lives into a joke that they can laugh at. Life is supposed to be an adventure where you're free to roam. But to most people, having freedom isn't even known. Free-range humans that don't even know that their freedom's gone. When you start seeking a reason, all roads will lead to Rome. The Holy Roman Empire, it never really fell. They control everything under the dome in which we dwell. They want Earth to be exactly the way it is in hell. They stole your mind and they turned it into a prison cell. Kept in the matrix, you must beware of the agent. You might just stare in amazement once you're aware and awakened. All this deception is blatant, kind of embarrassing, ain't it? There is nowhere they won't take it, and now it's time that we change it. This is our world, and there is no changing the facts. We came to take it all back. It's time to reclaim it. This is our world, and we will go out with the fight. We will stand up for what's right. We won't tolerate it. This is our world, and we just won't take it. Ready to take it to war. No way to escape it. This is our world. There's nowhere to run or to hide. Plus we have God on our side. You ain't gonna make it. Open up your eyes, look where we are. The scientists and Jesuits took it too far. The conditions that we live in are truly bizarre. Time to rip up this entire system and pull it apart. I knew from the start that this battle will not be easy. I try to wake people up to truth and they still don't believe me. They keep the poor people poor, meanwhile the rich just grow greedy. We're gonna have to stand up to them cause they will not go freely. Everything you think you know is wrong, I bet that's a surprise. They slapped a bow on top and sold us a package of lies. From ancient knowledge and true wisdom, they have us to pride. We gotta fight, the only chance that we have to survive. We're fed up, we've had it with this stupid-ass establishment. Everything they preach to us and teach us is inaccurate. We have had enough of this, we're angry and we're about to flip. They don't know how crazy it's about to get. This is our world, and there is no changing the facts.
Shit gets fired.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located. Loadout drop headed your way. Overhead.
I need armor.
closing in.
I'm stuck. No.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Needed a gas mask.
I try to tell people about it and get ostracized. Man, don't you know that the media is socialized? It's mental lies. And I'm not surprised that people know and they still don't care. The distribution of wealth is fucked, man, it isn't fair. What will we do when we're hungry? We'll eat the billionaires. Fall up your motherfucking business. Nobody tell you what to do. I'll show you how to do it like this. Already living in hell. Already living in hell.
Okay.
Cheesecake, or partying and drinking till they can't think straight. Wake up, it shouldn't be like this. Living in some sort of fake reality with the twist. Wake up, and I'll be screaming like this until I cease to exist. I'll never cease for this. Don't let nobody tell you what to do. I'll show you how to do it like this. We're already living in hell. We're already living in hell. Don't let nobody tell you what to do. I'll show you how to do it like this. We're already living in hell. We're already living in hell. Yeah, man. That's where I think the term freedom comes from. You know what I'm saying? Because you must be dumb if you think we're free. We live in fucking captivity. Open up your eyes.
You probably understand sometimes what a terrible burden it is to know some of the things that I know. I'm trying to wake people up and impart this knowledge to them. And find out that they just have walls built in front of them. They want to be slaves.
Now I risk sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but it's no longer a theory. What I'm about to say is fact. The secret organizations of the world power elite are no longer secret. They have planned and are now leading us into a one-world communist government.
We're holding for deployment. Now's a good time to warm up.
deep inside the rabbit hole. Wake up, my friends, there's some things that you have to know. It has to go. For instance, NASA is the world's largest magic show. 9/11 was a planned demolition and San Diego. Come on, man, are you tripping? Constant programming, being grand in your vision. Just take a step back and examine this prison. Turn on the news and they're trying to blind you. All they ever do is use lies and divide you. There's nowhere you can even hide. They'll find you. Illuminati, all-seeing eye right behind you. It's about time you find out we're being lied to. They're attempting to control the mind that's inside you. Hide you from the power that designed you. Does anybody have a problem with this? Well, I do. I want the truth, the whole truth, and the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you look at them, they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you look at them, they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. They're lying to us about everything. How can this be? I know I'm not crazy, and yet I'm questioning my sanity. I see what the Illuminati's doing to humanity. The truth is stranger than fiction. We're living in a fantasy. What I'm witnessing is unreal. It's a one-way battle for its cattle going uphill. If we don't stand and fight now, then no one will. Our children will never know freedom. It's a done deal. The future's not looking so promising. It's the poor who go to war while the rich keep on profiting. It's us that they're slaughtering. It's money that they're honoring. It's who is gonna be the new order that they're offering. It's mind-boggling how so many don't seem aware. And if they are, it's like they really just don't even care. Our world is broken and I'm hoping they can be repaired. But we'll have to fight for it, so just be prepared. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you look at them, they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof. I want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They say they got it, but they're never coming up with proof. If you look at them, they got you jumping through these hoops. The lies always continuing to rise and busting through the roof.
I got the politicians. Politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own all the big media companies. They control just about all the news and information you get here. They got you by the balls. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking.
Accept the reality that's presented to you. You watch the news and perceive it as truth that's given to you. You even repeat the things that you hear. Just listen to you. Major media outlets exist here just to fool you. Fox News, MSNBC, and CNN. What kind of vision are you seeing in? I'm seeing them in Ultra HD, trying to brainwash me and everybody else. Why can't y'all see? And Alex Jones is on the internet, imposing on our intellect. It makes me wonder why guys like him even get respect. It's time to disconnect and get some shit correct. Don't pay attention, they misdirect us to get a check. InfoWars on the prison planet, it ain't right. It's just another way to put it out in plain sight. This is their game that we're playing. They got their game tight. The new world order's got to take flight. I wanna throw a stack of cash in the gas and shove it up Alan Greenspan's ass. Fight it and laugh. I wanna put the Rockefellers in a building and try and play right into it just to kill them. Get into a villain. I wanna write fuck you on a note, piss on it, shove it down George Bush's throat, watch his ass choke. I wanna place the royal families in the ghetto and have people light them up with heavy metal. George Soros, Vladimir Putin, Barack Obama, Hope Fred.
Larry Page. Fuck you. Almost everything that we ever been taught to fucking lie. And now I never trust anything, and you wonder why. I think it's justified, plus the lies just multiply. That's the reason that I'm never passive and I won't comply. Born in the middle of a world that we don't understand. We go to school and think we're smart, but that's part of the plan. They create the curriculum, that's part of the scam. We're really meant to just be stuck in this darkness and damned. Every day we're supposed to stay in a state of confusion. Never intended to escape this created illusion. We believe in things that to this day are remaining unproven. Bringing down our current government is our greatest solution. But we spend most of our time occupied by entertainment. Constantly infiltrating your brain just to train it. That's all the conditions of your enslavement. It's time to get twisted, sister. No, we ain't gonna take it. I wanna soak a stack of cash in some gas and shove it up Alan Greenspan's ass. Light it and laugh. I wanna put the Rockefellers in a building and try to play right into it just to kill them. Yeah, that's how we do it. I wanna write books, get on and don't be punished if it gets short. Shit from I wanna place the right families in the ghetto and have people light us up with heavy metal. They got us running around like chickens with our heads cut off, sacrificing our lives to jobs that barely pay enough to get by. To add insult to injury, it is becoming illegal to be homeless. These motherfuckers have an agenda, plans and goals that exceed 100 plus years from now, and you don't even know what you're gonna eat for lunch tomorrow. ODBTV.
Alright guys, this could be my last game. And I'll probably play again tomorrow.
Enemy UAV overhead. Loadout drop inbound. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Now. Fight to earn redeployment. There's a fight kicking off. Get ready to fight. You're next. Win here and you return to the front line. You lose, your fight is over. Sort them out or capture the objective. Hit their arse. Stand by for redeployment. Located a supply box. Secure that position. Contract updated. New objective identified. Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Contract updated. New objective identified. next time.